Songland season 1, it was just, liberating for myself because I got to see what we do as songwriters and producers and musicians. I got to see what we do, in behind closed doors, out in the open, and we got to share what we do, our creative side, with the world. And what was so great about it is that people seen it and actually wanted it. They actually seen the value in it that we found value in years ago. That's why we find ourselves in studios till 7 o'clock in the morning singing into mics and making songs that you hope somebody take. It's just like it's a love and a passion in it. So the fact that people were able to see that, see our workshop, see our methods and appreciate it and actually, want more of it. I thought that was the brilliant part that other songwriters out there in the world who didn't know about our clan, didn't know that they had a community, now know.
Season 1 was completely a giant question mark going into it. We had no idea what to expect. And all of us came out of it loving it more than I think we anticipated. I remember talking to Shane, texting with Shane and Esther a day or two after we wrapped, and we were all going, this is so weird. Wait, we just go back to our normal lives now? Like, we were so used to coming on set and the energy, and it's a lot of fun, working with different artists every single day, getting to musically ninjutsu people's songs on the fly. It takes a lot out of you mentally. You have to be on at all times, and I love that type of thing. It's what I do in my actual life. So what's cool for me about Songland is there is zero disconnect between what you see on camera, what I do and what the three of us do on camera, and what if we're doing this on a Monday on set and Tuesday we're not filming, I'm doing the same thing on Tuesday at my studio with songs that artists bring me. I'm executive producing a project right now with an artist.
Well, there's so many things about season 1 that come to mind. I mean, first of all, it was like camp. And when we left, I felt so sad. I'm so glad to be back. But getting to work with new songwriters that have that sort of fire of just trying to figure out how to get a song recorded. It goes far beyond just pitching the song for the artist on the show. I wrote a song with Jack Newsom, who was in the Kelsey Ballerini episode, and Kenny Chesney just recorded it for his next record. And so he didn't actually technically win that episode, but I've collaborated with him, worked with him. I've worked with H.E.R from the Macklemore episode. I've worked with Sam DeRosa from the Charlie Puth episode. Just those relationships and getting to meet people that, still have that wonder about it. It really is a way to vicariously live through that. Because, I did that for a long time, for 14 years before I had a song recorded. And it's not like I've lost touch with that, but it is so emotional to see someone who's on that side of things when they get those first songs recorded and just remembering that.
So season 2, Songland is outdoing themselves. I'm just super excited. But my favorite, the one that my heart just was like, it was Boyz II Men, and I don't care. I mean, God, who got Boyz II Men? So I'm excited.
I'm so excited about everybody. I'm really excited about Boyz II Men, icons. That's a little scary for me, actually. Just the fabric of the American songbook, the things that they've contributed to music, to my life, to have anything to do with that just feels beyond my wildest dreams. I'm super excited that some folks from what I say my side of the tracks are coming to town with Florida Georgia Line and Lady Antebellum. I always like it when someone from the country comes over. I feel like I'm, in my element in that way. But I really also like getting outside of my comfort zone, and I think I'm going to be doing that a lot this season.
Shane McAnally is one of the top country songwriters of all time. If not, he might be number 1 now. I think he's had 41 number 1 hits at last count, and is considered just kind of the, one of the master Jedis, one of the Jedi masters of country songwriting and just songwriting in general. And he's hysterical, quick-witted, easy to get along with. We have a friendly competition. It's hard. It's not really. I want the songwriter to win. Okay, so there's multiple. When we started the show in season 1, the whole thing was like, let's get the next hit on every artist, and you realize we ended up with what I think 6 or 7 iTunes number ones, however many tens of millions of streams. At this point, it might be hundreds of millions. We ended up with a Billboard Latin number 1, a bunch of different successes. Songs performed at Rock in Rio in front of hundreds of thousands of people. We performed the song that we chose on our episode for One Republic at Red Rocks on camera, documentary style, in front of 20,000 people. So there were some really, really cool moments. I know actually today I just got requests for usage of Somebody to Love. Somebody is auditioning or competing with it on The Voice this week. So these songs have already gone on to have other lives, which is the point, and make money for the people that wrote them, which is the point. The initial goal was to see how many hits we can have for all the artists that come on. We realized that was kind of a short-sighted or narrow-minded approach, and really what this show is about is showcasing the art of collaboration and the art of songwriting, the craft of songwriting.
You know, the thing that really knocks me out about Songland is that these songwriters perform their songs for these artists. I'm so glad that was not the way I had to do it, because I would never have been brave enough. You know, it's about the song, about the lyrics, about the music, and I'd be too scared to try to sing it in front of these stars. But these songwriters come out and they really do put their best foot forward, and I'm just blown away by it.
There has never been a solid opportunity for my community, the songwriting community. It has never been. And, you know, I'm pretty sure after this, people will find our value. Yet Songland we didn't have to go and beg Songland to see our value. You know, Dave Stewart, Audrey Morrissey, they understood the value right then in the beginning. And it's forever going to change the way people hear music, see music, and think about music, because now they're going to add a couple of more pieces to the puzzle that wasn't there before.
It is exactly what I do every day. I'm just dressed a little better. Most of the time when I go to the office in Nashville, I can just wear sweats and, you know, just look like I'm lounging around, which is what I'm doing, you know, writing songs. So the only difference is that I look a little better and there's cameras around, but the rest is the same. That's actually been the biggest surprise, is how true to the way we really work it is.
Songland is the creative workshop of a song. You get to see, hear, and feel how we get to where we are with it. You get to see, hear, and feel how the first reaction of how an artist hears a song. Those moments are magic moments that are never really caught on tape.
The opportunity that these songwriters get is far beyond getting their song recorded. That's just one part of it. To have Ryan Tedder, to have Ester be able to take your song and say, hey, you're this close. This one little move here may get you on the radio. What I wouldn't have given for that, for all those years of chasing, you know, trying to figure out what is that secret thing that I'm missing. These are the best in the world, and I'm honored to be a part of that group. And if there's anything I can contribute to just make it a little easier, to just give insight to saying, look, your chorus just needs to switch out with your verse, or maybe your hook's not right. Because sometimes we overcorrect as songwriters. It's like if something's wrong, we think everything's wrong. But most of the time, it's just the slightest change. And Songland is so good at honing in on that. And hopefully that's what Ester and Ryan and I bring to it.
When everybody came on, you have Ryan and you have Shane and you have myself. We are totally different. We are totally different. And even if we dabble in the same streams of artists, we bring different things to the artist. I did a song for Kelly Clarkson, you know, Mr. Know-It-All. Shane did a song for Kelly Clarkson, totally different songs. You know, I did a song for Beyonce, Countdown. Ryan did a huge ballad. So we do what we do best. So what's so great about Songland is bringing things that, you know, the competition is within ourselves. Like, oh, if they give me a country song, So that means I gotta kind of beat Shane at country, and that was with all the country people that came on. I was like, oh, that's Shane's thing. I don't know if I was gonna be able to get that, but it's a challenge. So I think it's more of a challenge than a competition.
There is certainly a newfound interest in songwriters and where these songs come from. And truly, I think before people didn't want to know who wrote the songs because they just wanted to believe their favorite singers were telling their stories. But they still are, because a great interpreter, a great artist makes you think that it is their song. And they always record songs that resonate with them. So I'm just happy that Songland is giving a spotlight to those that really do tell the stories and that sort of turn their babies over and let someone else show them off. It is creating a new culture and a new interest, and I'm excited for it. I know a lot of songwriters that deserve that attention. And the truth is, songwriters are the best storytellers in the world and the greatest characters. And anytime you really hear the history of a songwriter, every time it sounds like a movie, because whatever got us here to wanting to open our hearts this way is usually pretty interesting.
If we get hits, that's great. That's an awesome side pot ancillary benefit of this show. But the goal is to elevate the songwriters, the craft of songwriting, and for as many people as possible that come on the show to walk away as professional songwriters. And I think by last count, I need to get the real number, but after season 1, I think 7 of the songwriters who competed have gone on to get publishing deals, largely due in part to, if not entirely due in part to this show. And one of the writers already had her first number 1 on alternative radio and AAA and Hot AC, a song called Broken by Lovely the Band, which was a big hit last year. And that was written by a Songland contestant.
Well, if I had to give a recipe of what makes a great songwriter, I'm like somebody who's nocturnal. First of all, you have to be influenced. You have to be open, to kind of get the good out of the world, because you have to come back and talk about
The Rock in Rio performance of Macklemore and H.E.R was one of the most moving moments of my life. Seeing that on TV and to know his story, that he had been busking on the subways for 10 years, and I had been working with him in between, and then the episode comes out, and I see him in front of 60,000 people. It was like watching my kid. I can't get over it. I've watched it so many times over, and it always tugs on that heartstring of just like, music can do anything.